Welcome back to CryptosRus. My name is Aaron and you're watching DeFi Friday, where I go through DeFi related concepts on Ethereum chain, Arbitrum chain, Optimism, Polygon, and the like every single Friday. So last week I talked a little bit about the top protocols on Arbitrum. Arbitrum is the hottest chain right now. It's low fees, high security. It's based on top of Ethereum. It burns Ethereum as each transaction goes through, and everybody in the DeFi space is heavily using it right now. In fact, the transaction count is actually peaking higher than Ethereum's transaction count. Obviously, fees are higher on Ethereum, so a lot of people are coming to Arbitrum. It's just as fast, just as secure, and a lot of really great dApps are built on top of it. My goal inside of DeFi is actually to make more Ethereum with my Ethereum and stablecoins, so I'd like to show you how to do that. But first, I'd like to talk about some DEXs, or decentralized exchanges, that I use on a regular basis to trade coins, to trade Ethereum with USDC or wrapped Bitcoin for Ethereum and so forth. Just to give you a little background and overview on how to do this on decentralized exchanges rather than on Coinbase, Kraken, what have you. So let's jump into my screen here. This is Uniswap, and it's the most used DEX on the Ethereum ecosystem. And by ecosystem, I mean Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism, ZK Sync now, Polygon obviously, and so anything that uses ERC20 or is EVM compatible, you're going to find a Uniswap application built on top of it. So in this application you have ETH, and then you can select your token, or you can select any token that you have in your wallet and trade it for something else. So what if I wanted to take some Ethereum? I'm on the Arbitrum chain right now. I've got some Ethereum in my wallet, some wrapped Ethereum. Let's change wrapped Ethereum into something else. So I'm going to choose wrapped Ethereum, and then I'm going to choose USDC as my swap option. What I can do is just hit max right here, which is great. This is one of my favorite things about this UI, is that you can just hit the max button and it'll throw all the coins that you have in that particular flavor into the application and be able to swap it dollar for dollar inside of Uniswap. So what you're doing here is very similar to what you would see in a swap application on centralized exchange, but this is completely decentralized. In fact, Uniswap actually doesn't hold any fees themselves. They give all their fees away to the people providing liquidity to this application, and we'll get into the concept of liquidity providing in a little bit. But I want to start with just some basics here. Wrapped Ethereum, changing it to USDC so that we can bring it into some of the other applications that we might use later. So this is how I would start. I would bring my wrapped ETH that I perhaps bridged over from the Ethereum chain to the Arbitrum chain. That sort of interaction would cost between $5 and $10 just to get it in to from Ethereum to Arbitrum. But once you have it on Arbitrum, you actually have very low transaction fees, like 50 cents or lower. What you would do is you would start by approving the coins in your wallet. And like I said, these transaction fees are going to be super low here. So I'm going to hit max or use default, or I can actually type in the exact amount that I'm going to use. But I did use max, so I'm going to hit max here. And then I'm going to hit next. And it's going to be a 15-cent transaction fee. And I'm actually not going to do this right now because I'm just showing you for this video's sake. I do have assets in my wallet that I can use in other applications. So I'm actually going to hit reject. But the next thing I would do is actually approve the swap. And then that would swap my wrapped Ethereum for USDC. And then I would take it into another application. Uniswap is going to have the largest amount of tokens that is possibly tradable. Everything from meme coins all the way up to Ethereum and Bitcoin, the blue chips, right? So just about anything can be found on Uniswap. But what I wanted to show you and dive into today was GMX. Again, GMX is something I featured in the last week's video because it's the most popular DEX on Arbitrum. I wanted to get more into it, but also talk about liquidity providing. So let's jump into GMX. This is the trading tab, and this is going to look very similar to what you might be used to on a professional trading platform like Coinbase, Coinbase Pro, You know, some of the centralized DEXs out there would have a similar look to and feel to this, where you can long trade, short trade, swap. And again, you're probably going to do a lot more swapping, especially those that are watching this channel. Most of you aren't, you know, degen gamblers out there. So what you're probably going to be doing is swapping ETH for USDC. And that's just like we showed you inside of Uniswap. That is completely doable here. So swapping, you know, ETH for USDC is super simple. You can swap ETH for wrapped Bitcoin inside of GMX. There's just going to be a lot fewer options inside of GMX, but they're the most usable options, and most likely for this channel in particular, USDC, Ethereum, wrapped Bitcoin, a couple others that you can do. I believe we have Link in here, and we have Uniswap tokens as well. USDT and DAI are also stable coins that are very popular in DeFi, and obviously you've probably seen them in centralized exchanges as well. But the coolest part, in my opinion, to GMX is actually the liquidity providing side. And what we're doing here is actually providing liquidity to the traders on the platform. So those crazy gambling degens that are going to be longing, shorting, are going to be needing that liquidity to be able to get their massive gains. And that's actually why I love being the liquidity provider. So how GMX actually does this, because it's decentralized, it's paying out 30% of fees to the token holders, the GMX token holders, but the other 70% of the fees that are generated through this platform are actually paid to the liquidity providers. So because GMX is decentralized and lives on chain, it's not going to have the same centralized liquidity that something like Coinbase or Kraken or Binance might have. Most decentralized exchanges are all about giving value back to the liquidity providers. So centralized exchanges are trying to make a profit, right? Coinbase is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. It's there to be a money-making machine for the shareholders, right? But on decentralized exchanges, the liquidity providers are actually the ones making those gains. So let's jump into the Earn tab. You have the GMX token here. The APR currently is 5% paid in Ethereum, and that's part of that 30% of fees from the trading volume, and the fees that are generated from the platform get given to the GMX token holders. It's one of the great parts about being a GMX token holder. Down here, though, is my favorite part. GLP is made up of 50% blue chips and 50% stables. So the majority of GLP is made up of Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then the other 50% is made up of USDC and similar, DAI and USDT that I mentioned earlier. So the cool thing about GLP is 70% of all fees that are made in the trading platform, the fees that are collected from liquidations, from swaps, from holding onto leverage over multiple days, that's going to generate fees as well. All of those are put into a pool. 30% go to the GMX holders and 70% go to GLP holders. Now, what is the risk of holding GLP? Well, GLP is the counterparty to those leverage long traders. So if you get a lot of long leverage traders winning trades, you will see the price of GLP possibly go down. And it depends on how many fees are accrued and how many people are long versus short. So if a lot of long traders are in profit and take profits, it will decrease the price of the GLP token. GLP has been hovering around $1 lately. For the last 3 months, I've seen it as low as like 87 cents and as high as 107 cents. So it's been relatively stable over the last 3 months. And the cool thing about it is you're getting currently 23.83% paid to you in Ethereum based on the trading fees. And this is real yield, guys. This isn't some Ponzi scheme, people throwing a bunch of money in, getting completely diluted by this project. It's real actual trade volume fees. So again, my strategy is to grow my Ethereum bag over time. So my favorite thing to do is claim that Ethereum. Sometimes I might want to, especially if the price of GLP is a little bit lower, I might want to compound that Ethereum back into GLP. But a lot of the times I'm just claiming it and moving on with and just growing my Ethereum stack. All right, so let's see how you would buy GLP. Let's hit the Buy GLP tab. So this is where you purchase GLP, and it's very similar in a swap feature to that of Uniswap, as I showed you earlier. So you want to choose which asset here you want to buy GLP with. You can buy it with USDC, ETH, wrapped ETH, wrapped Bitcoin, Link, and any other stablecoin listed below here, USDT, DAI, or Frax. And so I would purchase it with USDC or ETH, and then I would probably hit max or balance up here on this top thing. This is very similar to what you saw in Uniswap with the max button. If you hit balance, that'll just pop it right in to the to this field here. So this 0.37% fee down here is a relative to the asset that you're adding to the GLP pool. So you can actually go down here and check to see if there's any other assets that might be more favorable fee-wise to set up GLP. So actually you're getting a 0.919% fee on Ethereum, an even lower fee if you were to use Bitcoin. No fee at all if you were to put in Chainlink. If you wanted to get out of your Chainlink position and buy some GLP with that, that would be a great option if you were to try to avoid fees. But look down here, there's no fees on the Tether asset right now, so I would recommend maybe swapping in Uniswap, getting some Tether instead of USDC, or maybe even swapping some Ethereum if you were using that instead outside of GMX, and getting some USDT so that you can avoid that 0.37% fee while you're buying GLP. All right, I want to thank George and the team at CryptosRus for giving me the opportunity to bring you DeFi content every single Friday. And if you like content just like this, thank you so much for watching, and God bless.